Hey there, everybody! So I was thinking about what type of series I could start on this channel, and it got me thinking about kids' TV shows because I had such positive feedback for my top 10 animated background characters video.
Yay!
Woohoo! So I had people telling me all the time, oh, I remember that show, I used to love that show, or oh, I remember that character, that was so cool. So I decided maybe I could talk about forgotten kids' TV shows, mainly ones from my childhood, in a segment I like to call Forgotten Kids Shows. Trademark. Essentially, I want to talk about programs that didn't have the biggest cultural impact out there, but I, and possibly many of you, may remember watching. Some of these shows may have been a staple for you when you got home from school, if you stayed up late with the TV on, or if you just came across it once and never saw it again. Either way, I think this will be fun. So let's dive right into this exploration of the unremembered with this gem.
Barbarian! 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 Barbarian!
Dave the Barbarian premiered on Disney Channel January 23, 2004 and lasted one whole season consisting of 21 episodes with 2 different story segments per episode. The show revolves around a cowardly barbarian named Dave and his family living in the kingdom of Udragoth, set in the Middle Ages. Dave's parents, the king and queen of Udragoth, leave their thrones to fight off to faraway lands. Okay guys, let's try this scenario again, but this time, death. Include a magic uncle, a dumb pet dragon, and a wisecracking talking sword, and you got yourself a hit. The whole idea is quite funny, with a narrator in the background trying to sell the audience on the story as a great mighty adventure like the tales of Conan or Greek gods, when nearly everyone is just awful in their roles. Candy doesn't care to be queen. She talks and acts like a typical teen valley girl, obsessed with boys, shopping, and honestly, herself. Dave is pretty menacing, but only in appearance, as he's just a complete coward that wants to avoid all confrontation and enjoys things like musicals about pastries. One of his best friends is his talking sword, Lula. Lula is a wisecracking ancient weapon with mystical powers that tries to keep Dave in his role as a barbarian as much as she can. Fang, the destructive youngest sibling, is always ready to fight and save the kingdom. Unfortunately, she's small and just a nuisance, with the biggest running gag throughout the show being people thinking she's a monkey, in which she yells, Uncle Oswidge is a sorcerer, and not a very good one at that. His spells cause nothing but destruction around the kingdom, but he does seem to know plenty of ancient magic and history compared to the rest of the family. Throughout the series, the family gets invaded by a variety of intruders bent on taking over the kingdom. None more prolific in this short-lived program than
Chuckles, the silly piggy!
Chuckles is a talking pig, and Dave's biggest foe. He has a mystical amulet that can basically do anything from shape-shifting all the way to magic blasting. However, he does occasionally work with the main characters on certain episodes, like when he was in extreme debt like Candy when she was online shopping too much. When I was growing up, I remember there being a bit of hype for this show before it premiered, between the Flash games and especially the McDonald's toys. Look! You get a blow-up sword, a helmet? It's freaking awesome! What do kids have now? Nothing. Just nothing. I was a huge fan of this show when I was growing up, so does it hold up? Well, there are lots of aspects that you have to put into consideration. For example, No, it doesn't. I'm starting to see why it didn't last very long with the rather dated concept of putting modern pop culture into primitive civilization. In one episode, a man by the name of Ned Frischman travels back in time and tries to take over the kingdom by how else? Getting them addicted to video games? It's the type of humor that works in certain things like Blazing Saddles, but not so much this. But when it comes to children's television, this was my style. It was irreverent, the animation was quite good with its use of bright colors, and dragons! Who didn't like dragons as a kid? If you didn't like them then, you like them now. I know you do. So is it good enough for a recommendation? No. There really isn't anything too special about it besides some good animation and some slight off-the-wall humor. It wasn't funny enough to get big laughs like That's So Raven did, but it also wasn't weird enough to be ingrained in your mind like Ren and Stimpy. So those were my thoughts on Dave the Barbarian, and did you guys watch this show, and what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this. Don't forget to like this video and click on that subscribe button. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. I really hope this can be the start of a brand new series, so please let me know if there's any sort of program that you want me to cover next. Thanks, everybody!
The birds and the bees are flying in the trees. The sun's in the sky, just for you and I. The sky's perfect blue, no cloud could spoil the view. It's a sign from above that shows that we're in love.